Well, I'm here in 10 acres of garlic with Shane Leahy, who's the owner of the property. And Shane, you know, you were absolutely devastated by the fire. Do you want to tell us about that time and what happened for you during the Kangaroo bushfires?
The fires started December the 20th. We had some lightning strikes on the north coast in the middle of the island here. So basically for 2 weeks solid, pre-Christmas, we've been fighting fires pretty hard. We had them contained to a stage we were quite happy after that 2 weeks. Then I think it was New Year's Eve, New Year's Day, we had some really big lightning strikes again come through right on the west end of the island in the national parks. Those fires there were not accessible to really deal with, so in the coming days the wind and the heat just increased and increased and increased. January the 3rd, conditions just got totally extreme, winds 100 kilometres an hour, and so the fire travelled through the national park, from the northwest, the wind turned to the west. The fire front was 20 kilometres wide, and then the winds just swung to the southwest, went from the south coast of the island through to the north coast of the island within 2 hours, taking pretty much everything in its path. My house, my workshop, everything I own, all my fencing, all my property, totally destroyed. Luckily enough, the only thing left was a shed with the garlic in it, which, as you've just seen in front of you, that's the only thing I had left. So about midnight that night, when we were able to get back to my property to see what was left, I drove in the driveway, no house. I found my 2 dogs alive, 7 puppies alive.
Wow.
Miraculous. I'm not a believer in upstairs stuff, but little miracles happen sometimes. And drove into my shed, saw my garlic, went, okay, this is where my life starts again. And basically drove out the driveway. My neighbour's house was on fire over there till midnight. Drove down the road, found another house on fire, 4 o'clock in the morning. 2 hours sleep, got up, come back, fires were still going, and we continued to fight those fires for probably 6 weeks after that. So it's a pretty intensive season.
Shane, it's a credit to you how you've come back, and we've had a look in the packing shed, and you're doing some fantastic stuff there.
Yep.
The garlic's not quite ready to pick yet, but 3 weeks time.
About 3 weeks, yep.
And you're doing some garlic salt, and what else have you got?
Garlic salt, garlic granules and garlic powder. There's online business, kifreshgarlic.com.au. You get all your things there. We've got some good distribution through IGAs and Drake's and those supermarkets. Locally on Kangaroo Island, all the honey farms and all the cellar door sort of situations, they all sell the products and sell really well. So look, it's about a positive attitude. That's all I can take out of devastation was all over us, and you've just got to look at the positive. My garlic was my positive for me to say, well, okay, I've got something to go on with my life, and let's start. So lived in a caravan for 4 months, and finally got a little house built that we could live in just before winter set in, which was a bonus because the winters are pretty harsh over here. Yeah,
absolutely.
So it was good just to have something warm. And 1 or 2 things that you don't know how much you appreciate, is a flushing toilet. Because I've been pooping in a bloody camp set up, having every 2 days. Had to take the drum down the creek, empty my own waste down the creek, and a hot shower, because the caravan, you had a little water tank, 30 seconds, 40 seconds, right, that's it, in and out, boom, done. Now I can sit there and soak in the shower, and there are 2 things in life that you just don't realise how lucky you are to have. Really. Well,
you've made a very tough, resilient stock, Shane, and it's absolute credit to you. And we tell you about the generosity that's come from so many people, from Western Australian guy delivering you a caravan, and people coming and literally building your houses. I mean, it just shows a great faith in humanity.
It does. The Australian people, these fires weren't just on Kangaroo Island; they're obviously all over Australia. So the support that got given to us on Kangaroo Island, this has happened all over Australia. So I can only imagine the amount of people that have been so generous through this time. It's really kept my chin up, and not restored my faith or anything in humanity, but it just there is some really good people out there, and with everything that's going on, and obviously COVID coming in, so we were getting really good support. COVID come and took over, and basically the bushfires got forgotten, which is very sad, because there's a lot of people out there through Australia that are still suffering very hard. My positive attitude and what you can see that I've done is from a lot of hard work in the last 9 months. There's a lot of people out there that just haven't even realised what's happened. They won't accept that they've lost everything. There's people living in tents still, there's people living in sheds still, and it's quite sad. And let's say the COVID coming and taking over, we're more worried about people in cafes in Melbourne losing a cafe than people's lives and that sort of thing. That makes me a little bit sad, but life goes on.
Yeah, well, you know, we're here for the SSI Mapathon, and so there's people from all over the world that are focusing in on KI today, because we really want to be able to map as many water sources as we possibly can, so that, well, you've got local knowledge that hopefully never happens again, but should, you know, there's demand for people from brigades from other parts of South Australia and all over that need to come to the island. They will know where the water is, and they will know how to get there. And as a CFS guy, you will have real-time data on your phones about where each water source is, how much water is actually in that tank or in that dam or in that swimming pool for you to access, and also know the quickest way to get there. So
I think it's a great initiative. It should be. These are things that our local CFS or nationally, statewide CFS should be involved in. And thanks to people like yourselves, that this information is going to be available. So yeah.
Well, thank you very much for your time. It was a random call. You've accommodated us. You're a very busy man. So thanks a lot, Shane. And we really do wish you well in the future. And I can see you've got a great business here, and I know you'll continue to get lots of support.
No, thank you very much.
Okay.